Hello. Wagwan, this is Nimrat, or my friends call me Nimzi. I am a radio presenter, a content creator, and there's a lot more I do that I'm not too sure about, but hey, we're going to have a great discussion. So,
what's up? I like that. How you doing?
Chilling.
Now, because I know you've already been up, you've had your coffee.
Yeah.
I want us to start with an exercise. You ready?
Mental flow. Check.
Yes, I want to
Let's
start
go.
with an exercise, right? I tried this thing yesterday. I was laughing so hard in my house because I was like, oh my God, this system, kumbe, it has like flaws pali, right? I just want to see if yours also has flaws, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I want you to turn your right foot, right? Clockwise.
Clockwise.
Right? Clockwise.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like clockwise. It's like moving, just lift it up so guys can see it. And there we go.
Okay.
Clockwise, right?
Right.
So I want you to take your right hand, right? And then I want you to, just as that's moving clockwise, I want you to move your right hand anti-clockwise. You see? No. Clockwise.
I get it.
Clockwise. Clock it.
can't do
Clock
it.
it. Clock it. Clockwise. And then turn the hand. Like, I was dying of laughter in the house.
Like,
because
how?
I was like, how am I not able to do this? Like, I tried a trick. I tried to focus.
Wait. Okay, we're going to spend like the first 10 minutes of the podcast doing this.
Oh, my goodness.
How did you discover that you needed to sit down and... Oh, you saw a video?
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone told me to do this exercise and I tried to do it and I was like, yo, how am I not able to do this?
That's so weird.
And
Human anatomy, though.
Yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
apparently this same thing that we have, this fail safe that our body has, because basically it's like your body knows that, so we are going clockwise. So it's using your brain efficiently. So it turns if you have said, let's go anti-clockwise. And it's like, no. It has overridden your command and said, we're doing clockwise.
It's like when you put gear 4, it's gear 4.
It's the efficient thing to do on one side of your body, right? So your whole body
needs to clock it.
It needs to clock it. You get what I'm saying? So it's so interesting because even with your habits, that's what happens. The thing that you're used to, even if you command your body today that, by the way, from today onwards, I'm no longer smoking a cigarette, or today onwards, I'm no longer drinking coffee, or today onwards, I'm not going to go back to that loser. I'm done with that love, right? And you're like, body, clockwise. Let's clock it. The body is like, as we're used to, anti-clockwise. So you're over there, you're like, from today, the body has said, si tunajua Jonte, ebu pigia Jonte umwambie, I love you.
Yeah, it always happens.
It overrides your command.
Have you ever been with your girlies and you tell them, today I'm not calling him, and then 2 shots in, you don't even realize when it's happening.
It has overridden.
Literally until the guy picks up the phone, you're like, oh shit, but we were not trying to call this guy. That's a reverse psychology. The more you tell someone not to do something, anarudi. Like,
you know what? Actually, let's get into it.
Right.
I'm so excited you're here because I want us to talk Africa politics. How was your weekend? What stood out for you this weekend?
This weekend was interesting. I mean, we had a couple of things. Obviously, the thing is when you open up like your IG, especially for me, right? Or my Twitter for that matter. Ni politics too. From top to bottom. So there's been a lot that's been happening. By the way, if you haven't registered to vote, go register to vote, by the way. Like civil rights. Look at where we are.
And actually the elections in Berry North, the by-elections that happened last week, the thing that really stood out is Gen Z are just yapping.
There's no one there.
They're just yapping.
There's no one
Guys
there.
don't have voters cards, and guys are not interested in going to the vote to vote.
Yeah.
And so 2027, Sema, say it with me.
What do we say?
Okay. Millennials, not this.
It's this.
Yeah? You get the reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. This is something different.
Anyway, but there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the Mara story as well. The stuff that's been going on. And I'm very scared for our national parks, by the way, just generally. Like our parks, our wildlife, because the way guys are just doing whatever they feel like. So, do you remember Nairobi National Park when they wanted to take out the SGR?
Wait, do I remember?
Oh, wait.
Is it not there anymore?
I mean, it's there, but like...
Oh, okay, just checking.
The thing is, we have so many problems as this nation. Yeah. So once problem moja ikiisha ama court dealt with, you go to the next one. You know, ni quick.
Yeah, I remember when they were putting the SGR. It's there, by the way. If you want to look, you just sit there and have a cocktail and watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. So SGR happened, and it really did affect the way the animals move within Nairobi National Park as well. That's why you were finding those lions in Langata. Yeah. They're not going to see their partners, you know.
They got lost, bro.
They got lost, by the way. Yeah. They've been misguided. So they didn't go to Langata for that shit, right? And just the same way, even Mara is being affected. Yeah. Amboseli, by the way, was recently moved towards the governorship of Narok County government, away from KWS.
And then there's also that road they are trying to build through the Amboseli.
Yes, through the Amboseli.
And then there's also Karura Forest, which, you know, now there's like accommodation inside.
Unajua nini? Wanasema touch grass, but don't use grass.
Yeah.
But where is the grass is the question.
Yeah. No, once guys started AstroTurf. Yeah. Fuck. They think, why do you need trees?
Are you talking about half the balconies in Roysambu?
You know what I'm saying? So, in case you don't know what's happening at the Ritz-Carlton, an international brand, right? Which tumesema boycott, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know why you guys say stuff like boycott. I can't afford it.
First of all, I can't afford it.
Yeah, guys tell me boycott. I'm like, bet.
Do you know what though? The best way you can do it, I've seen these videos of guys in the Mara, and then they're saying the van for Ritz-Carlton, and they're like, that hotel. When you see a brand from that hotel.
But what does that do for? There are guys who are just like, let's be honest, right? I read a stat. So hopefully you've seen the video of the Ritz-Carlton, and you should be very, very upset because I saw KWS saying that this. So the story goes that this Ritz was built on the pathways of the wildebeest migration. We all know about it, and this is affecting the wildebeest migration. And KWS, Kenya Wildlife Services, or as I like to call them, Kenya Watalii Services, have said that this has in no way infringed the movements of the wildebeest. But look, focus. Look what Ritz-Carlton can do.
No, but those guys have been working overtime. You know, there were a couple of reports going around with the Maasai elders who are trying to stop that shit.
There's a guy who's been gagged. He's like, where's Semiyuki?
But alisema that even if they're trying to do that, I ain't going to stop talking about it. So shout out to these community leaders that are still trying their best to fight these systems. Because these Ritz guys are rich, let's face it, first of all. They can afford the best of the lawyers. And the people who are most likely visiting a place like Ritz are either the 1% in Kenya or the rest of the 6% rich outside who are coming there. It has nothing to do. Sisi local travelers tunaenda to bush camp, okay? Tunalala na lions.
Ndio nilikuwa nasema Salem tu ananiambia ati boycott. Nasema let's use another term. Exactly. Like, let's throw mud.
Or can we find a better way to fight this? How about go through the appropriate channels that we need to, like we have been. Yes, guaranteed fine. Public opinion is like an opinion, shitty opinion according to the guys receiving it. But the most we could do is just follow the right channels, public opinion, get this stuff out there, go support those leaders. If you're a lawyer who's really good, go help that mzee trying to fight these guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that whole thing is very crazy about what KWS is saying. Because what do you mean? It's like they literally call the wildebeest goons.
Bro.
Like you guys are goons.
Ini Kenya.
Kila mtu ni goon.
Only cheki, uko ile video that part, run the tape.
You know, I tell you, they should never allow this camp here on the crossing side.
The part where this guy, you just imagine Daddy, where are you going? I'm going to work.
Yeah.
What does your work entail? I do to wildebeest. Like, you didn't see that the guys they're at the hotel and the wildebeest are like, yo, where we at? Yeah. No, I'm over there at the bet. I'm just about to cross the river to the Nini. Yeah. At his figured the part for the river, there's a new hotel.
Yeah.
Like last year, this shit wasn't there.
I feel like maybe he can just stop for a cold one.
Honestly. But they were being fukuzwa, do you know? Because just imagine you're there in a jacuzzi and then all of a sudden, Nini has ingeared.
You know what's crazy to me is these wildebeests have been having this route for years. Like,
Before even there was a Kenya.
Before there was even a Kenya.
Before
period.
there was even an electoral body. Before there was even a president to launch it. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Suluhu,
because I know that's KWS's reason for jumping these stories, because number one launched that place.
Yeah.
Like when and actually I saw a post by Sadiq Shaban on his Twitter. He's actually the person who posted this video, because I've been seeing the story and I thought it was like just like a small part. I didn't understand that it was like Aki Island inside the Mara, right? And just how the implications of it. And actually, apparently, number one is involved in their ownership.
You know, you'll never fight
Allegedly.
a corrupt system. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Kenya, even Africa in general, even if you look back from like colonization times, right? They've always been guys who have let you down. There's always been a guy mwenye amekula huko ndani and screwed up any movement for that matter. It's so sad to me that they, just because of corruption, you don't see that this place is going to bring you value. It's a tourist destination. It's a wonder of the world at this point.
Sometimes I wonder, because I'm like,
we all wonder.
Aside from you guys, asking Kakamega, we found gold.
That's
you
even
don't
worse.
need tourism. As you don't need
it's
tourism.
even worse for you guys at Kakamega, with that gold. Don't even get into that gold right now.
We're not even going to talk about it, because I was sitting here with Willis and I explained that my concerns with mining and gold, right? I was even telling my mom we just need to sell the land because in about 5 years,
Tafuta Patni, nikupe number. I'm just joking. I don't have Patni's number, guys. Don't come for me.
Wow. Okay.
It's just a joke. Don't come for me.
Tunajua pahali huko. Let's cross over. Actually, before we cross over to another country, I want us to finish our internal stuff. There's something you said. You said get your voter's card. Now, as somebody who's voted 4 times, right? 4. I am a bit concerned, and it's something I've mentioned, that, guys, is it just me? Is electoral body trying to make sure that Gen Z don't get their voters card?
Honestly, I feel like that's been a sentiment that's been all around, by the way, because a lot of Gen Z are saying, I have some friends myself, and by the way, there's a chick called Justine. I don't know if you follow her, Fake Cook Justine. Shout out.
I know her.
So she's tried to go and find a place to register to vote. Ameenda kwa the site, and there's a sheet of the stations that you can go to, the centers. And she's like, I go there, they give me a different excuse. I go to a different place, they give me a different excuse. And then some Gen Z are saying, when we go in groups, they say mko wengi system in a crash. So I think, the thing is...
That sounds like, Jabba.
Like for real.
Yeah, it just sounds like Jabba.
I honestly think after the protest happened, like all these guys on the big, before Gen Z was quite apathetic towards politics, me included. At some point, I've never voted, by the way. Like, it's funny, I'm saying you should
not
go
surprised.
vote. Like, I have never voted in my life. And now I would want to. And I think because of the whole finance bill, what came out is, you see, even the older people, the boomers and Gen X, these kids don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't know what they're doing. They're not interested in politics. So even if we open, let's now go and get people to vote and register. And there were campaigns. Do you remember in some elections ago, they used to go door to door, by the way, to get voter registration?
There was even
That's
a
not
song.
happening.
Let me tell you, I remember being in primary school and hearing, because I told you guys, I can remember a song that I had on TV in primary school.
Yeah.
And when I was suckling on my mama's nipple, right? But I can't remember your name.
Yeah.
So I remember songs from electoral bodies and they're telling you, go get your voter's card. It's time for election.
Bro, march. Do you remember merchandise? They used to leave you bags.
They would be walking.
Yeah.
You get what? Bro.
Yeah.
Kulikuwa na t-shirt ya election.
Yeah, elections, yes.
IEBC side, and let me tell you guys, me, I put you guys on. First, let me tell you, where the rain started beating us, right? First, how they picked this IEBC commissioners, it was already Kizungumkuti. And then we get there, the CEO, first they say, okay, now it's time for voter registration. You don't see even anything, and there are so many, nowadays there's billboards, right? We see these ones that are trying to tell us what gifts we should buy for people for Christmas, Black November, but you can't take a billboard and put for IEBC. So where I saw it suspicious, right, is when the CEO is on news every day telling people that, guys, today we have only gotten 60 people who have voted. It's shocking. I'm like, brother, unatuambia nini? Are you saying umeshindwa na kazi?
My question is, what is the communication person's doing over there? Because I come from a communication background. What are you doing there? You've seen your boss and CEO, your stats are low. where is your risk compliance and crisis management? Because it's a crisis at this point. You as IEBC, if you're not getting proper registrations, it's a crisis to you well. It's not. But if things worked right in this country, that's a crisis. Yeah. What do you do when you have a crisis? You roll out a campaign. Yeah. What campaign? Awareness. Get guys to vote. And I think they're purposely suppressing voter registration because they know that the moment the numbers make sense, you cannot steal. Because here's the thing. The more the numbers are, the harder it is for you to steal the vote. It's just mathematics. It's just statistics. If you're 50 people who register and this guy says I won by 90%, it's easy for him to do that. But when you have like millions of people, the math will stop mathing at some point.
All I want to tell you is if you've not yet registered to vote, I want you to make it. I want you to like the way you guys like going hiking, or you can even after the bash because the pin is not working, but you're not giving up. You're not giving up. You're not saying I've been after in this place for 45 minutes. Now I'm driving back. The cab guy is adding more money. I want you to after that polling station like that because this is a concerted effort against you. Yeah. Right? So I need you to surprise them. Surprise the suppression. Great.
Surprise the suppression.
Now let's get on the plane. We're going to Guinea Bissau because this story is hella.
Africa is one whole country in itself, by the way. Guys, continent ni country.
It's crazy. So in Guinea Bissau, right? The president in Guinea Bissau, first their elections are crazy. It's like Africa, electoral bodies are just for fun.
Bro, zinakuanga committee.
Honestly.
Ni kama committee for weddings. Yeah. Ushaona ati tuko na wedding committee. What do you mean wedding committee?
Wacha kuita electoral body at TZ electoral wedding committee.
Wedding
Because yoni wedding committee, bro. But anyway, in Guinea-Bissau is situated between Guinea and Senegal, right? Somewhere in West Africa. It's a small country. And hawa tu si wanakuanga na coup. Coup from the 70s.
Coupon coup.
Buy one, get one free. It's crazy. And it goes back to that thing I was telling you about. Where did we start? Are you trying?
Anti-clockwise.
Because once your body, whether it's a physical body, whether it is a company or a country, once the operating system gets an idea, it's very difficult. Yeah. So for example, countries that usually get coup, you find it's a system, like even if you try to override, to get out of it, somehow that's where you end up. Yeah. But this time that's not where we are. Because I've seen media asking, is this a coup, Ama? How are you asking if this is a coup? Because
Merci beaucoup.
Sorry. You need to stop. So how do you know there's a coup? What usually happens? Signs
of coups
that this is a coup.
Si mtu anaenda to the office it's either like the presidential office or state house or you go to a media house, you take over the radio channels, you go like from today sahau huyu mtu mwingine ni sisi, and most of the time inakwanga military.
So army guys looking
mostly military, right?
Yeah, so imagine the president announcing that he has been arrested and there's a coup happening, right? And he's the one he's addressing the media. Would you believe it?
It's like the kidnapper saying, nimekidnapiwa.
Sasa mimi niko hapa cheki, I'm doing a press conference. Cheki mimi nimekidnapiwa na kidnappers wanasema ni ngori bro, ni ngori. So, here's what's crazy. People are refusing to believe that Guinea-Bissau is under coup. And the story is that the president alikuwa naona anaenda kushindwa. So amejiabduct. Run the tape.
It was not a coup. What happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. Maybe some people describe it as no, not quite. RNG? I would just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the President Balo, that announced the coup. Before later, the military man came up.
Even ceremonial
He's trying to find the words. What is this? It's bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly what's going on. Like African president, like, there's a thing about like just women that you don't start elections with like head boy, nivo. You learn to lose before you come now here, where you know that there's a chance that you can lose. Now ukubali matokeo, bro.
I don't know
not
what
for
happens.
Wasting time for guys. Now you see, like here's a country that's in limbo because there's a guy who's just said, "My nigga, we ain't going nowhere."
Yeah,
bro. Bet. Shit. I ain't going, no. A coup. It's a coup.
It's a coup. I got nothing to do with this, but hey, I'm adapted. It's so crazy. I think they could just probably go and decide between themselves, put them in a room, give them rock, paper, scissors or something.
There was a clear winner.
Yeah.
There was a clear winner.
Okay.
Who's now the could.
Who's could?
Yes, the could.
The could.
He's refused to chomoka that seat. I find this really ridiculous.
But I think it just goes
shame on
across.
this. Shame on. If this is what's going on in Guinea Bissau, shame on this president.
Unasema Guinea Bissau na huku Kenya hata corporate works like that. Unasema nini? Mtu amekalia kiti for like years. Anakata kutoka, and then they're like, wananiingilia. They want me to leave and resign, but I will not resign as CEO. And you can't even sit up on your chair.
But technically, guys, I don't know if you think this is an African thing. Naskia, Venezuela, right?
Same thing.
The country which has the largest oil deposits in the world, where I'm saying America wants to go and save them, like Nigeria, right? Maduro, see, they did an election.
Yeah.
Maduro said, where? Who won her? Oh, no, she didn't win, and he has cataliated that kitty.
I think human beings we're all delulu, and I think the strongest delulu wins if you've got the most money.
Honestly.
Yeah, the more money you have,
remember that.
The strongest delulus they win.
Yeah.
Like Elon Musk, everybody. If you just got money right now, you can't tell me shit.
Actually, there's something you've said, and I just want to say, if you're a Kenyan and you're watching this, right, I want you to stop saying the 1%. Like, I want you to drop that lingo. Okay. Right? Let's go back to the exercise. We're going to keep doing it this whole episode because, trust me, I want you to try and clock it.
By force.
I don't break my leg in the process, right? What I'm trying to say is that it's not 1%.
It's
the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics released data. 146 million Kenyans. Sorry, that number doesn't exist. Sorry. 146 Kenyans, right? 146 own the same amount of property and wealth that 42.6 million Kenyans own. Let me just repeat those numbers in case you get lost. 146 people, packs, personas, mutus, nyangaus.
Nyangaus. Not the nyangaus.
146 nyangaus have the same wealth that 42.6 million Kenyans.
We're not mad
own.
enough.
So to imagine, let's imagine we are 42.6 Kenyans, right? Million.
Yeah.
We have put everything we own. This is it, right? This is the same as the 146 Kenyans, what they have brought to the table, right? Wild. So, is it 1%?
No, technically not. It's more than 1%.
I want you to be saying the right thing. It's 0.00000 elite.
Wengine watu tuli drop mathematics, but just know a handful of people, your 5 fingers are running the entire country.
Let me put it in a perspective you can get, right? Yeah. It is possible that you can go your whole entire life never meeting any of these 146 46 people.
Yep.
Let that sink in.
Like...
I'm in agreement, baby. Tumefika ile place. No, but the reason I shared... Go ahead.
I saw a tweet that says, ati mkiosha, osheni vizuri, jo inaonekana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're washing, just wash it vizuri.
Lakini ambiwe mtu, that is good.
That is good.
Or shanga, right? So why I'm saying that is good is that, as you're saying tunaona, it doesn't matter. We live in a society right now that if you're stealing, I'm high-fiving your ass. Right?
You're
I'm
right.
proud of you. You are my role model. I'm coming to you to be like, how can I steal
as well?
Teach me thy ways. Right? So the idea of telling people ati kuwa na manners. We tunaongea juu ya Ritz-Carlton. Mtu alijenga kitu na akaita president a launch. Na sasa KWS wanatuambia hii kitu, hiyo wildebeest wako na kiherehere. Si mjuzi mlikuwa mnapitianga Sasa wanataka Kenya yote
wajenge roundabout
weke zebra crossing zebra crossing
wachukue roundabout warudi Serengeti,
right?
so, like what the fuck.
Morality is not like that shit's out of the
like
window.
Moral compass has been out for a while, by the way, but just generally you're just like mkiosha osha tu vizuri, unazaona tu someone is oshaing like an idiot.
Share with us.
It's not even about sharing, it's I care about you enough. Sitaki uanze kuosha alafu ushikwe. I just want you to continue progressing.
No, I don't think there's anybody who's happy. And guys, I want you to tumewambia muende kuchukua kura. Kwa sababu 146 people. That makes so much sense why somebody would live. You know, there's this question that people usually ask, like, how is it that Africans, like if you're abroad, right? Okay, now I've seen in Trump's government, I'm seeing African third world behaviors, right?
Yeah.
But why would a rich person, right, wealthy, you're among 146, actually, no, 146, they don't run for election. You buy people, right? But why would a person who's had a successful career in corporate want to get into politics?
So it's for more money. We've always known. Like
no, but do people understand this? Because when it comes down to an election, and you're going to see this, we're already starting to see it, right? The fact that you're watching this and you don't have a voter's card, you're exactly wewe ndo kuna ile breath ya ufala. Unanielewa? Unasha tu hapa tu story na nilisikia niliwa to the wa, keep quiet. So these guys, if you have that kind of wealth, you corporate, which is a lot of us are aspiring to have that kind of salary, right? Where you can collect 1.5 per month. Why would you leave that and go and be grand for governor?
And a lot of the times it's not even money, it's access.
Yeah.
It's what authority and power could make you do. It's similar to, I want to just digress kidogo. There's the same conversation about Diamond and when he supported Suluhu's regime, and people were like, okay, but he has businesses that he's running that without certain government approvals, without certain stamps, your business is run, and those businesses bring you millions and billions. So that same billionaire, I'll be in trouble, but hey, let's go. There's a certain billionaire in this very country. Nani Muindi alisema, ni sawa, like whatever.
Kama unasema devki, sema devki vifiti. Sawa.
Ati alisema these stories for number one ako sawa, that you know, at
another 20 years.
At another 20 years, you know, number one akai. Why? It's because number one be signing off on the elite.
They're busy
on
launching
your businesses.
They're launching still
in Uganda.
In UG, bro.
But now, let me give you, like, just to get into it a bit deeper, right? Still manufacturing, safety. Let's go down even to the safety of these employees. When you look at all these factories, manufacturing plants in Kenya, it's a fact that a lot of these employees are not working under the provided standard that they should, safety standards. And there are checks for this. There are all of these things. So these people who are running industries need these places of position so that some things can go undercovered, some things can continue running in automation and auto whatever. And that's exactly now the whole fabric of the world. That's why it's a problem in general, because that's exactly what's happening. The moment you have money, you have free will to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
And this is why you need powerful positions, because legislation still exists. Maybe not here, but
and that's
still exists.
why it's very, very important. Damn, like I'm just surprised like how all these things are connecting with each other. But like guys, I want you to note that you see those numbers we're talking about IEBC, and we're talking about how it's a concerted effort to make sure that you don't go to a ballot, because si tuna macho bro, tukona experience. Tunajua venye IEBC ilikuwa inafanya campaign. Hizi ni
say we launch two poster,
right? So if 146 people have the same amount of wealth that 42.6 million, that's a very dangerous. You know, it's like, put it like in a scenario like you have a bunch of Elon Musks, right? And then the rest of the society is hand to mouth, right? That's why we have the dynamics we have, like let's say in politics, right? In everything, that the rich are always winning. Now, what's our part? Our part is to go to the ballot, and not to sell your soul for cash. Like, bro, you know, I always tell people, like, I always ask this simple question, right? As you're collecting that 500, are you aware that the ballot is private?
Kura yako ni siri yako.
Imagine ni serious. Hakuna mtu ni serious.
You see, it's not me.
Right? Once you get into that ballot, in fact, I can be smiling with you. Yeah, wow. Case in point, there's a guy called Manibior. Hey, he was manipulated. There was a by-election happening. Bro, the guy was doing chopper shit, giving guys chums, boozing, eating them, bringing chefs from where, you know. Peleke in the village. Village guys, he had 546 votes.
And that's how it should be, ladies and gentlemen. That is the strategy.
You know what? He shikad those guys, wake at them in house, chapad. I'm not laughing. We do not condone violence, right? But like, guys, kuleni na heshima.
Kula alafu mwendeni. Just go vote. Kula.
Eat.
Me, I'm not against eating, by the way. Ukipata pesa, lipwa, fanya, but just, nobody's gotta know. Nobody's gotta know.
Take that money, you know, wear the t-shirt, but vote with you, understanding that it's not 1%. There's 146 individuals. Like, do you understand? Like, I need you to understand something.
It's not under equilibrium. And like, we need to bring back the
just
equilibrium.
Imagine you have
a pendulum, iko hivi.
Omega 420. Like, just imagine the value of a Kenyan compared to this. If we were to say now, to value, right? So this person, they are buying the value that they get. Like, they buy the life that they want here in Kenya, including laws, right? So when you wake up and you see there's a new law, some MP has just decided, because first, let me just tell you, some of the laws your members of parliament come up with to go, this is the thing, I'm going to present a bill. And I'm like, kichwa yako yote imeona, the one thing that urgently Kenya needs is this.
Zinakwanga tu distraction tactics, because when a stupid bill is being presented in parliament, the same time there's usually a very serious bill down there that's usually being passed. Now, so while we are focused on this, because let me tell you, attention is the biggest currency right now. Now what happens is we're living in a generation that has very bare minimum attention. And the more you know how to manipulate and throw around the attention, what happens? You weak a cause. My paper was on the Gen Z protest, right? And we looked at how imagery just changed the whole thing from being a finance bill to an anti-government protest. And how, you see those videos you guys were taking very nicely on the streets, keep taking them, by the way. Documentation is important. But remember, there are people who know how to use those images to manipulate the narrative of this thing. Wewe umechukua tu picture of someone holding a rock or a slipper. Maybe they hurt themselves, but there's somebody who's going to use that picture and say, oh, these are violent protesters. So that whole thing about attention and how the protest was diverted and changed can be seen through images. But again, it all boils down to attention.
And that, again, boils down to, you see, understanding that as you're going into an election, you're there just thinking the country, but then there's many strategies and many, like there's something I was explaining to a friend of mine that, as we're saying, we want change. That word change, there are 4 categories of change. There are 4, there's 4 different types, or even here in Nairobi, there's 4 different types of people and experiences, right? So when you're saying change, like let's say, for example, during the protest, I know people who in their neighborhood, there was no even evidence of there was protest happening, because all you have to do is just switch off your TV. Your algorithm is not even bringing you anything from the streets, and they're having parties and just like nobody's even involved with whatever's happening here locally. So that was...
Wengine wetu tunasikia bullets the whole night.
Bro, mimi niko kwa nyumba na niko na tear gas. Niko kwa living room yangu na nisema kwani NTV na niletea tear gas. I'm like, am I watching?
Is it 4D? Bro! Is it 5D? What is the technology?
You know what I'm saying? Now, wako, they don't even know. They're like, yo, I was watching CNN. I heard Nairobi. I'm like, bitch, you live in Nairobi. Anyway, so the most important thing is to understand, because as we go into the election, you see this thing, you have this thing called understanding, right? Where you've told your brain, now what are we doing? We're doing clockwise, right? We're doing clockwise, right? So you're there, I'm going to vote for the right person, right? Me. Imagine there's no tribal. I'm saying there's no tribal. The fuck? I'm not going to focus, right? Focus. All right.
Eyes on the prize.
I want us to talk about parents, right? Hey, okay. Are you close to your parents?
I would say my mom.
Yeah.
Daddy issues. It's going.
Hey, raise your hand if you have daddy issues.
I think I have both.
I think everybody. Yeah.
And I feel like right now, kila mtu akona issues with parents. But if you don't have issues, and I realize it's very natural for you to have issues with your parents, especially when you're an adult, because you just have different mindsets. And it's now 2 adults learning how to coexist after you had a different relationships. Because remember, for a long time you're a child to your parent until you become an adult. Then you're like, There we go. Shit.
I say it's that, you see, it's that responsibility that it's like you are my custodian and you'd been given this elite role, this very divine role of, like, for example, how in kingdoms, right? Let's imagine the king has died but the inheritor, the descendant who's supposed to inherit is like 7, right? So somebody steps in to fill the gap, right? So that they can take their responsibility.
Yeah.
A lot of parents don't understand that, right? And nobody teaches you that, right? So, and then there's also the responsibility, this divine responsibility, but then there's this other life. And then there's society which has told you, no, you can't stop at one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already have divine there are multiple divine roles. You need 9. So the 9.
It's too much, guys. Just let me breathe.
Exactly. So there's now what we're coming to the realization. I think the older we're getting, and they as a human race is understanding that. So it's not just about chomoing them pew 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 like a rabbit. It is about, once I chomoa them, now their journey starts. Mine was not at
kutoa tu. The nurturing
and then
begins.
I'll complain for 18 years. Unajua kwanza stretch marks. Kwanza unajua, you know what kind of life I would be having if I did
give birth to you. I'm like, you should have not, Basi.
It's divine role. You are a custodian of the, just imagine if parents were taking it like that.
Yeah, but I think the newer generation, though, I think they're being a bit more intentional, because I also see there'll be 2 kinds of people. There are those guys who are having kids early because they can afford and they want to have kids, and there are people who are choosing not to have kids simply because they cannot provide mentally for them. At this point, it stops becoming just about physical provision. Are you ready to mentally and emotionally provide to a kid?
Even physical. I'm not the part of the 0.00.
Ati you want to go, drop the kids to school, school pickup, school drop off.
Because
now imagine you have 2.
Kids expensive simply because the standard which you wanted, right? You've grown up like, and then it's our parents' fault, because they were always trying to make us like be aspirational of, you're gonna be more, you're gonna be better. Yeah. I'm not more, I'm not better. So now I'm just like, my aspiration for my child is that they'll be going to like, they will be dropping them with the chopper too, right? For lunch, we are picking them up. Now, when I say I can't afford, I can't afford because I can't take them to Turi. And so somebody has to bring you back down to reality, say, yo, cheki, mtu akikam, anakuja na sahani yake.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo, by the way. Stop, let those things not lie to you. And I feel like that is a problem. And this is why we're still poor as a country. Not gonna lie. And I'm not talking about even huku kwetu, it's the same thing. Yeah. Like, why on earth? But then I read a tweet somewhere the other day that they said the only reason why lower income earners have more kids is because sex is the only pleasure that they can enjoy for free.
It is.
Isawa, lakini, imagine that. It's not a must to have kids.
But then there's a myriad of issues, right? So, for example, if you have
contraception, affordability to contraceptions, I understand.
Religion, traditions.
You can't abort. But I don't think people should have kids if they're not ready. I don't think that's something that we need. That whole thing about society is changing. Before it used to be, like, let me talk about myself. I'm a firstborn girl. By now, I should have been married with 2 kids. My mom right now.
So you're a disappointment.
Mimi sai. And that girl, your mom tells you, don't hang out with her because you're going to get spoiled. And the spoiled doesn't mean nothing. It just means you'll be almost clocking 30 with no child, no marriage, no prospects. So my child too na shots naingia podcast leo asubuhi. Unajua nini? So things are different. And I think it's great because once we've decided if you can't have, physical is one thing, but that emotion. The reason why some of us are still fucked up the way we're fucked up is because of our parents' mistakes. It's different because there's some awareness that they didn't have because of a lack of information. When I'm talking about information, I'm talking about connectivity, resources. Like, you see, my mom who lived in a village is not going to know that beating my child up is going to cause them mental trauma. But us who've gone to university, we have all this knowledge and access to this information. And then you still choose to have a kid, and then you still beat them up and give them that trauma that your parents gave you. Then what's the point? Just don't have the kid.
There's another train of thought that the reason why a lot of Gen Z millennials millennial are like, oh, you're not having kids,
Yeah.
is because of the responsibility. So, and
Ni
hear me
mzuri
out.
kujijua.
Responsibility. And so a lot of the generation before us didn't know that they didn't have the you mean I can opt out? There's only like type yes, click yes, enter. Click enter. There was no like decline. Like you just needed to scroll and see the decline all.
Especially
Reject.
women. Because why? Women have always been at the lower receiving end of everything in the society.
Men.
I mean, yeah, there's
Think
men.
about it.
But
Men.
I'm thinking about gender role types, right? Me, I'm thinking about the cultural and society POV. What was the role of a woman back in the day?
Have kids.
Oshango.
Right.
Cook food,
But what
give birth,
what was the role of a man as well?
provide.
And also have kids.
And have kids,
Right?
yeah.
And there's also this narrative that all men just want to have kids.
No,
or
they don't.
All men
No.
wanted. No. And in fact, if you really look at African society and like a lot of us, like you're just like, now I don't think these people wanted. I don't think this guy wanted to have kids.
Actually,
bro.
no.
Like
Yeah.
because the way
Yeah.
the fathers were behaving, you're just like.
But
ulikuwa
unge
unataka
pull
kuwa na
out
watoto
basi.
kweli.
Nini?
No, but you see, society,
Force them
community
to have them.
would be looking at it like
A failure.
Are you a man? Because a man.
See, walisema the more
is-
kids you have, the more wealth you have.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for a woman, it was to be able to nurture this,
Carry
and make the man come back home. Like, does he have your location? And is he tethered? Does he keep coming back? Girl, you are womaning. But in 2025,
Yeah.
if he wants to leave, in
He
fact,
leaves.
asubuhi tunahagiana zile tunaambia, by the way, in the event that you don't come back, it's been real.
It's been real.
And then he comes back and say, oh, you came back,
You came back,
bruv.
you're shocked. You're like,
oh shit, we're still doing this. Oh, I love this.
yeah,
like,
because-
it's great.
But I admire that because I have a friend, she's co-parenting and it's working like perfectly fine. They were together, they have 2 kids, now they're separated, but in fact, their relationship and how they show up as parents has become so much better now that they're separated.
Now, speaking
You
of
see-
co-parenting and blended families, because now
Yeah.
by the time you reach this age, chances are that the person you'll meet maybe has had a child or has
Probably,
been in
the
a
way we're
marriage or
going.
something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, let me tell you, the one thing I always ask myself about blended families is, let's imagine you've come with your baby, he's come with his baby, right? He's in a co-parenting situation, you're in a co-parenting situation. But now you guys are falling in love and you said, we want to start a family together, right? Because co-parenting is, I live with my child and then the child comes to you at Nini. But now blended is that now you are coming to stay with me. Right? And now the days you have your child, I'm also there with you. And the day my
Vice
child is
versa.
there, so we're doing this blended family thing together, but the co-parent is the one who makes decisions, right? I know it's getting confusing, but guys, remember we're over here.
Clocking.
We're trying to clock it, right? So here is a co-parent has come with a co-parent,
Yeah.
right? And they've started this blended situation. But let's imagine, like, say in school, right? Let's imagine you're the blended parent of my child, right? My child has a dad. But now, since we are married, you are a stepdad. But stepdad doesn't mean adoption. I've not adopted you,
Yeah.
right? You still have your dad.
Kuna role una play too as a stepdad.
But legally
yeah.
hakuna role. So ukienda swimo, for example, mtoia drown
Yeah.
na wanamrush kwa hospitali, you are a spectator.
Yeah, you're just someone, you're not
You're a
family.
nanny, you're a nanny.
You're a stranger.
Yeah. Kwa sababu ukifika kwa hospitali,
Yeah.
they're like, call the parent.
I'm a school, like you can't sign off on the kid
Thank
basically
you.
because you don't have any legal rights on them.
What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Because where we're going, I think there needs to be new laws
Yeah.
around how to manage this. Because if I've taken you and I've taken you
Yeah.
plus your child,
Yeah.
right? Usually it would be, okay, back in the day, they didn't know. They're like, oh, okay, we're not working out. Then even this child, you're not seeing them. It's over and
Hakuna kitu ya co-parenting.
nenda kumtafutia bwana
ni full custody.
baba yake.
Yeah. Baba mnyu.
Nenda kumtafutia baba mwingine. Okay? So you
New
go
daddy.
and you now start a new life. You have a new name.
Yeah.
This person adopts you. Or
Yeah.
you could be shh. Usiambie mtu yoyote.
Exactly.
They just go and change the names and
They
everything.
act like alikuwa
Stories
tu mtoto
are up,
yake.
right? But there's no way somebody can be raising you
Yeah.
and they're not able
legally involved. I think it's a good idea to have that simply because of those security reasons. There's certain things you need a guardian or a parent for. But it can also be a bit tricky Because think about it this way. This person also now has legal rights over your kid.
Yeah.
So meaning they can do anything to your child. Me.
But you are here with me legally, sis. Like, we are married.
Yeah.
Right? To shawana.
Still.
So, and then now you're saying, Ati, you want to have an exit plan. You know what? As you think about that, let's go to Netherlands because there's a bill that has been introduced. Run the tape.
The Netherlands could soon legalise families with up to 4 legal parents. That's the core of a groundbreaking bill from the Liberal VVD party aiming to modernise Dutch family law. Currently, only 2 legal parents are recognised. This leaves co-parenting donors or step-parents with 0 legal standing, unable to sign consent forms or enrol children in school. The proposal would allow a child to have up to 4 legal parents, reflecting the reality of LGBTQ+ and blended families. The goal is to provide security and legal protection for all caregivers. There are strict rules. Intended parents must make formal agreements before conception, and a judge must pre-approve the entire multi-parent structure. The bill faces stiff political resistance and is not guaranteed to pass. It now enters a rigorous debate over the future of the family unit.
It's because I saw they went straight to the 2 dads, but for me, I'm looking at it like here in Kenya, such a scenario, like I'm hanging out with your kid and then now I have to call you, call the mom because it's going to be difficult.
I mean, imagine call me, because imagine your kids my kids are misbehaving, and then I found out my baby daddy's current wife decided to slap my kid. Man, I'm beating you up.
Like, why is it always just violence? You shouldn't be beating anybody to begin with.
No, but you know how we roll over here. Like in Kenya, we're still beating children. You know, and my mom said that seriously. She's like, so we have family friends. They're from the US, Black Americans. So they're like, okay, we're moving back. Why? So our kid, you know, tuwezi mchapa mtoto. Tumerudi Kenya because she's underage. You give one. Unatoa slippers across the living room. But that's my point. For me, legally, I think it works. The whole co-parenting, having legal rights, it helps in many situations, school, hospitals and stuff. But I'm afraid it will give them too much legal power to the point you think it's okay to beat my child, and I'm not taking that shit.
And you know, blended families are crazy. Like, just imagine like a scenario where like you have an 8-year-old, right? And then you've come into this scenario, we've gotten into a blended situation. And now, and then your child is now not getting along with you. They're getting along with this new step-parent, right? Now, when you give them legal rights and let's say mukosane, anaweza ende na mtoto wako. Guy!
It keeps getting worse.
No, but you know what? But then I always say that as you're getting into this blended scenarios, and that's why I'd love your comments, guys, in the comment section. I'd love to see your thoughts as we blended family, because these are the things like Gen Z. Be aware, this is your reality. Hii ndio kitu mutapambana nayo na Gen Alpha kuendelea. Blended family is just a reality. That's just reality of what families are. You've gotten into this scenario. And the child has gotten along with this other parent, and they have legal rights. Like they can just decide, okay, me, by the way, I'm moving to Mombasa.
So you're being fought for twice by 2 parents. Like you're fought for custody session 1, custody session 2. Now you're with another parent. Yeah, I don't know.
You're breaking up, right? Let's now see.
And then you built an attachment.
How do you break up?
Ningumo. That's why I do not.
Do I still have access to your child?
See, now that's where people fight about now. I think
nasi ati niko na biological rights.
No. But it's just attachment, bond, and then the legal right that you already have that you're about to forego now that you're separating from this marriage. I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't know how guys do it, because this is why I don't care about all of that stuff. I'm like, maybe I want peace, you guys. You have a kid. Okay, you co-parent. I'm not also interested in being a stepmother. And then there's this thing women have. Okay, I'm saying about women. I don't know about men. Me, I'm a woman. Women have this innate, I can't blame us. We are innate nurturers. So the moment you find a guy with a kid, what's your innate feeling? I want to take care of this child, whether or not the baby mama is present. Your maternal instinct kicks in.
Mine doesn't.
Yours, you have saved yourself from a lot.
I'm very
you could
clear.
be raising people's kids.
I'm very clear about, and it's not about the person. I'm very respectful on kids and their individual rights.
And their needs.
And their individual rights. So for example, like if I'm at a party, if you invite me to a party and you're playing bumbuklat music and their kids, I'm not going to be there, right? If you're a parent who likes to get drunk and high around your kids, I don't want to be around that, because not because I'm worried I'm respecting the kid's boundaries, right? Same way, if I meet you and I like you, doesn't automatically mean that I want to meet your kid, right?
Yeah.
And the reason is because I haven't decided where we are going, right? And then also at the beginning, I want to have this conversation on, in the event that we go far, right? What roles and rights do I have around your kid?
What do you play?
Right?
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear about that, so that if I get invested with your kid, we're never breaking up. Me and you can break up, but me and your kid are never breaking up, because I'm not about to be a disappointment to your child.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've taken that responsibility. I'm going to be there in their life. But if that's not clear, I'm not, yo, leave your baggage at home, yo.
Yeah.
Come meet.
See me without.
I don't want to see
you
your
don't want to
kids.
see that.
As simple as that. And I think, I feel like that is something that people need to have a conversation about, because breaking up, when you're breaking up, it's like prenups. You do prenups when things are good.
Yeah.
So that when things are hitting the fan, you'll be like, oh, in fact, even my children, I can't even say my child.
Yeah.
You become like a demon, you know? You're now using
and that
the
time,
kids.
that kid actually wants to know you more than that person. They're like, where the hell is Auntie Nani? I need
but
to
now you're
speak
like,
to her.
Auntie, no, that one is not even her. But you see, if we're going to discuss that and that's how we're going to handle it, then. But the reality is that I don't want to meet your kids. I'm being honest. If I know that, I know that we're not going to get married or anything like that, until the day we're getting married, that's when I want to meet your kids.
I think that's actually a very good approach, because why you out, even like my friend, I told you, she's a single, like now she's co-parenting. We keep having these conversations, but she doesn't introduce her kids to all the men she meets. And I think that's something people need to stop doing until like you are sure. Like, why are you bringing strangers to your house? Honestly, and you have children? Yeah. Just be sure about it.
You don't want to be that parent where your kid is on a podcast saying, you know how many uncles I met?
No, my mom had a couple of boyfriends. One of her boyfriends was
Uncle
like
Nani and Uncle Nani, Auntie Nani. Even guys. Yeah. You know, there are guys who use their children as hook, right? So date one, he's already coming with the child. First, let me just say this. Is this thing working? Is this my camera? That's psychotic.
Yeah.
We can see right through that, right? I know what you. But then there's babes who are into that, right? So he's hooking you. He knows that the moment because the reason you're meeting is because you're attracted to him. So he's going to now. You're going to be a mother. You're going on play dates. Sis, what you doing, girl? What you doing? This girl has already been disappointed.
Yeah.
She thought there was going to be a family.
Yeah.
Now she's over here as a kid asking herself, is this my new mommy?
Yeah.
And babe, you're there for the strokes.
Yeah. Even you as a babe who's there for the strokes, mbona una invest time?
Umestrokika paka uko na nurturing mentality.
Breeding.
Ati baby, ati Stacy uko wapi? Ati nina babysit Mtoi Junction.
Oh my gosh,
chipo.
I hate
ati Jonte ako kwa gym.
Jonte ako kwa gym.
Who's Jonte? The last time I met you, I never even knew how to Jonte.
So you know Jonte ako second mission.
Can you imagine?
Like he's out there looking for number 2, number 3. But yeah, I think it's just that instinct, and especially if you're a woman who's naturally. Every woman has that instinct. Yours is probably not kicking in because you're super aware of what it is that you fucking want in your life, right? But as a woman, as you're trying to figure yourself out, it's very natural for that instinct to kick in, and please ignore it. Because the baby moms is going to come and whoop your ass.
You need to. Actually, the second point is respect. Like, unajua kuna vitu zingine si lazima uambiwe. Kuna vitu zingine lazima si uambiwe.
Jeshimu nani?
Wewe unataka sasa mtoto aanze kwenda kuambia mtoto, imagine ati ya mama, I can imagine.
Yeah, you can just imagine.
I'm imagining my mom. Then I've broken up with Jonte.
Yeah.
Right? So Jonte started dating. Then my daughter comes home one day and she tells me, I really like Nimrat. She has taught me how to shuka. Me, that time I'm planning how I'm going to teach my daughter how to braid. Yeah. Now I have to fast track the syllabus of all things I want to teach because I don't know what you planning.
Yeah. It's tough.
Can I take your daughter for swimming?
My daughter. Swimming.
No, but
But the only advantage about this though is shared responsibility. You're now 4 parents and you're 4 people raising 2 kids instead of 2 people raising 2 kids. Yeah. So shared responsibility.
It's a very delicate situation. I say handle it with grace. If you know for a fact Yeah. And how do you know? It's not that, I can imagine, I've just been with Jonte for the past 6 months. I just love him so much. Or the past 2 months. Or the past 2 weeks. Now I want to meet even his mama.
Utakipata.
Right? Don't do it. Even parents. Like, how long does it take you before you meet the parents?
Me, I'm a special case, bruh. Me, it took my ex-months to my parents after 5 years of seeing him.
Use this. This is the...
I'm not going to take anyone home.
How, like... Do your dad to be like now, sorry, Jonte, sorry, Kevin.
Do you know what the most embarrassing...
What's your name again? Brian. You would remind me of the other guy.
It's a joke. In fact, even this case is still more embarrassing because now my dad looks at me and be like, it's okay. What happened to Nani? And this is just one man I've taken home, by the way. I've never taken a man home. Until today, now we broke up. He asks me, he's like... and the funny shit is like I like my dad that way. I really like that support. I can see it. Yeah. When he met him, he's a nice guy. He's shitless. Okay, so if this is who you've chosen, so because me, I was about to get married. By the way, I could have had a ring by now. I could have been on my first child. I'm not lying to you. That's how shit was serious. Yeah. Cool. So he's like, yeah, it's okay. Okay. The breakup happened. Now he doesn't know how to ask me. And this is a brown dad. Okay, we've never had a relationship where we're talking about men. Yeah. Mimi nilichapwa nikiwa na boyfriend high school. Yeah. I'm not joking. Nilichapwa. Tuko na boyfriend.
Guy.
Yo, it was bad.
Yeah.
So now for this man to suddenly accept this man, and then later now when he broke up, he goes like, I anyway didn't like him. I'm like,
that's how you know he's in your team. And that's another third point to add there on reasons why you should not be in a hurry to meet this person's children.
Children, yeah.
Because let's be honest, you know, like even with now like your ex,
yeah.
When you leave this family,
yeah,
you just know you're the butt of all jokes.
Oh yeah.
Tunakusengenya.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even with kids,
yeah, same thing.
You know the kids are asking, where is auntie?
Because the kids have the worst timing. Una play fresh game. Like you're playing proper great like game. Like you're throwing in your cards, your best cards, and then the kid will be like, but mom, weren't you talking to Uncle Nanny? And I'm like, girl, we don't tell these people. We don't tell people. Yeah, we keep quiet. And they have no filter.
It's so crazy, man. Anyway, I'm so grateful that you came on the pod. I know you gotta go. I know you gotta run. You have 4 minutes to be on your show. Thank you so much. I've just looked at the clock right now.
If I get fired, it's because of the Boxpod.
What? Say it on the microphone so that they hear.
If I get... Oh, shit. Bye.
Tunakuona.
Hey. If I get fired, it's because of the Boxpod.
Okay, the employer has seen. Now you can go. Thank you so much.